John Rawls' concept of the veil of ignorance, introduced in his seminal work A Theory of Justice, 1971, is a cornerstone of modern political philosophy and ethics. It serves as a thought experiment designed to ensure fairness and impartiality in the creation of principles that govern society. The original position. The veil of ignorance is central to Rawls' idea of the original position, a hypothetical scenario in which individuals come together to decide on the principles that will govern society. In this state, individuals are stripped of all knowledge about their personal characteristics, social status, or natural abilities. They do not know their gender, race, class, intelligence, talents, or even their values or religious beliefs. This ignorance is intentional and serves to eliminate biases that could arise from self-interest. By removing these particularities, Rawls argues, individuals will choose principles of justice that are fair and equitable for all, as they cannot tailor these principles to favor their own circumstances. Principles of justice. Rawls proposes that rational individuals behind the veil of ignorance would agree upon two fundamental principles of justice. 1. Equal basic rights. Each person is entitled to the most extensive set of basic liberties compatible with the same liberties for others. These include freedom of speech, political rights, and personal property rights. 2. The difference principle. Social and economic inequalities are permissible only if they benefit the least advantaged members of society and are attached to positions open to all under conditions of fair equality of opportunity. The veil of ignorance ensures that these principles are chosen without bias, prioritizing fairness and equal treatment. Justice as fairness. Rawls' framework is rooted in the concept of justice as fairness. The veil of ignorance aligns with this idea by creating a hypothetical scenario where impartiality is guaranteed. The principles chosen in the original position are meant to reflect a social contract that rational individuals would agree to if they were ignorant of their own circumstances. Analysis of the veil of ignorance. Theoretical foundations. Rawls' veil of ignorance draws on social contract theory, a philosophical tradition associated with figures like Thomas Hobbes, John Locke, and Jean-Jacques Rousseau. However, Rawls reimagines the social contract in a modern context, emphasizing fairness and equality rather than mere survival or property rights. The veil of ignorance also reflects influences from Kantian ethics, particularly the idea that moral principles must be universal and impartial. By requiring individuals to disregard their personal circumstances, the veil ensures that chosen principles are universally applicable and respect the dignity of all individuals. Implications for justice. The veil of ignorance addresses key questions about distributive justice, how resources, rights, and responsibilities should be distributed in society. Its emphasis on fairness makes it a powerful tool for evaluating social and political arrangements. Equality of opportunity. By emphasizing that positions and opportunities should be open to all, the veil promotes a meritocratic society while acknowledging the need to level the playing field. Protection for the least advantaged. The difference principle ensures that social and economic inequalities are justified only if they improve the well-being of the most vulnerable. This principle prioritizes fairness over maximizing overall wealth. Universal basic rights. The first principle safeguards individual freedoms, ensuring that no one is deprived of basic liberties for the sake of social or economic advantages. Applications in contemporary issues. The veil of ignorance has been applied to various contemporary debates, including 1. Health care. Policymakers can use the veil to design systems that provide equitable access to health care, ensuring that no one is disadvantaged by their socioeconomic status. 2. Education. The concept supports policies that address disparities in educational opportunities, advocating for reforms that benefit underserved communities. 3. Economic inequality. The difference principle offers a framework for addressing income disparities, emphasizing policies that uplift the least advantaged while maintaining incentives for productivity and innovation. Critiques of the veil of ignorance. While the veil of ignorance is widely celebrated, it is not without criticism. Some of the main critiques include: 1. Abstract and unrealistic. Critics argue that the original position and the veil of ignorance are overly abstract and removed from real-world decision-making. Skeptics question whether individuals can genuinely detach themselves from their identities and biases. 2. Cultural and contextual blindness. By stripping individuals of their specific circumstances, the veil may overlook cultural and historical contexts that shape justice. Critics argue that this abstraction can lead to principles that are insufficiently sensitive to the lived experiences of marginalized groups. 3. Emphasis on rationality. Rawls assumes that individuals behind the veil are rational and self-interested. However, this assumption may not account for the ways in which empathy, altruism, or social bonds influence human decision-making. 4. Insufficient attention to power dynamics. Some argue that the veil of ignorance fails to address structural power imbalances that perpetuate inequality. While it seeks impartiality, it may not fully account for the systemic barriers faced by disadvantaged groups. Enduring relevance. Despite these critiques, the veil of ignorance remains a foundational concept in political philosophy and ethics. Its emphasis on fairness and impartiality has inspired diverse fields, from public policy to corporate governance. It encourages decision-makers to prioritize the common good and consider the perspectives of those most affected by their choices. Rawls' framework has also influenced global discussions about human rights and social justice. For example, the United Nations' focus on reducing inequalities and promoting sustainable development aligns with the principles derived from the veil of ignorance. Comparative perspectives. Rawls' theory can be compared to other approaches to justice, such as utilitarianism. Unlike utilitarianism, which seeks to maximize overall happiness, Rawls prioritizes fairness and the protection of individual rights. The veil of ignorance ensures that no one is sacrificed for the greater good. Libertarianism. Libertarian theories, such as those advocated by Robert Nozick, emphasize individual freedoms and minimal government intervention. In contrast, Rawls' framework supports redistributive policies to ensure fairness and equality. Marxism. While Rawls acknowledges economic inequalities, his theory seeks to justify them only if they benefit the least advantaged. This differs from Marxist calls for the abolition of class structures and private property. Conclusion. John Rawls' veil of ignorance offers a powerful and enduring framework for thinking about justice, fairness, and equality. By removing personal biases, it challenges individuals to design principles that prioritize the common good and protect the most vulnerable members of society. While it has faced critiques for its abstraction and assumptions, the veil remains a vital tool for evaluating social and political arrangements. Its influence extends beyond philosophy, shaping contemporary debates about human rights, public policy, and global justice. As societies continue to grapple with questions of inequality and fairness, the veil of ignorance serves as a reminder of the importance of impartiality and the pursuit of a just and equitable world.